Okay, so the last thing we're going to look at is kind of the formalities, the finances, paperwork, that kind of thing. So as a foster carer, you will receive a weekly allowance for the child. This is now paid fortnightly, and the allowance is based on an average person's of a certain age footprint, if you like. So how much gas, electric, water, clothing, food does a person need, and the figure is reached in that way. So you'll see on your slides, you've got this table which shows you how much we pay per week for a child in a certain age group, and what that equates to per day. These at the moment, I've reason to believe these are the most up-to-date figures. Nobody's sent me any new figures, but figures can change or go up. They won't go down, but they could go up. What you will receive, you don't have to provide receipts for everything. So sometimes people say, oh, do I have to provide my gas bill and stuff like that? No, absolutely not. What I would say to you is, if the allowance for the child is not being used for the child, we can generally tell. But you will receive, coming up to summer, you will receive an extra payment, which is an additional payment of twice the weekly payment, which is to go towards holidays. You will receive a festival payment for your child. Now, that is generally paid ahead of Christmas. If you have a child in your care that doesn't celebrate Christmas and you need that money at a different time, then let your fostering social worker know and they can sort that out. You will also have an additional week's payment ahead of the child's birthday to help with birthday presents. We also have support care, which I've talked about. Support care is paid by the block, and supported lodgings are paid exactly the same. We also have what's called our payment for skills. So when you become a foster carer, when you are first approved at panel, you then have a year to complete level 1. Now, level 1 consists of what's called the TSDS portfolio. So that stands for Training, Support and Development Standards. And it's a portfolio of evidence with lots of questions in that you need to complete within that year. It's split into 7 different standards, and you can gather a lot of evidence through meetings, interactions and training courses. And you answer the questions, or you put evidence into this portfolio, and then we expect that you submit it within a year. Alongside the TSDS portfolio, which is a national requirement, Hull Fostering have a list of level 1 training. So you will be provided with this by your social worker, and it's also within the training diary, which you will be provided with when that's published for the next year. We run April to March. And there is a list of level 1 training, and we expect that the level 1 training is all completed within the first year as well. Once you have completed your portfolio and all your level 1 training, then you are a level 1 foster carer, and you will receive an additional payment of £34 a week. That's money for you. That's payment for your skills. Now, as a foster carer, as a mainstream foster carer, you have no choice but to complete level 1. That is a requirement. After that, you can choose to progress to level 2, and ultimately, if you wanted to, level 3. So, level 2 is further training and another portfolio, a reflective log. And level 3, again, is further training, a reflective log, and we expect that there's a kind of an additional and it's something in addition that you give back to the service. So you might help with interviewing, you might help on pre-approval training, you might organise events, that kind of thing. There's a great big list of things that you can do for level 3. These are a way off for you at the moment. We certainly wouldn't have anyone progressing to level 2 immediately after their level 1, and if you choose to go for your next level, it has to be in agreement with your fostering social worker. But that scheme's there, and like I say, it is a payment for your skills. Then we have fostering daycare. So some foster carers provide daycare for other foster carers. So you might have, we expect you as a foster carer to access babysitting and childcare within your own support network, but sometimes foster carers need don't have anyone to care for the child, support networks might change, that kind of thing. And so a child might go to another foster carer for daycare. So we're not talking overnight, we're talking a number of hours during the day, and we pay that per hour at £2.70. So you might be a foster carer that's asked to provide daycare for another child. Just with respite, same principle, we would want the child to have introductions, to know you, and if it's going to be a regular occurrence, so I don't know, say for example, a foster carer has had their work days changed and they need to go into work for a few hours every Tuesday, you might be a foster carer that's providing daycare every Tuesday for this child. We want it to be the same person, okay? So we don't want children to be jumping around from all sorts of different foster carers. We want as much stability as possible. So, to mention insurance then, if you are a home owner or renting, you need to inform your home insurance. If you've got buildings and contents, you need to inform them. Just got contents, you need to inform them that you are going to be a foster carer. A lot of insurance companies will say, that's fine, I don't need to do anything. Some will make a note on your file, but we encourage you to inform them. As you know, insurance companies will happily get out of a payout, and there's often a clause in insurance policies that state, please be honest and open with us and inform us of any changes in your circumstances. So you must inform them that you plan to be a foster carer. Car insurance, you need to inform your car insurance because you will be transporting looked after children, and if you plan to claim mileage, which we do have, your fostering social worker will explain a bit more to you about mileage, but you need business insurance on your car insurance to be able to claim mileage. If you're privately renting, you need to inform your landlord that you're planning to be a foster carer. If you're council renting officially, you don't need to inform the council, but we would advise that you do. If you're a homeowner, obviously it's your house, you can have who you like in it. If you're in receipt of benefits, you need to notify them that you're planning to be a foster carer. It won't affect your benefits, but you still need to let them know. And tax, this is the one that frightens people to death. So as a foster carer, you must register with HMRC as self-employed for tax purposes and complete a tax return every year. So within your pack you will have a handout about tax. That can give you some pointers. What I will say to you is, if you are struggling to complete your tax return, there is lots of different avenues of help and support you can go down. We have foster carers out there who are accountants, who are happy to come and see other foster carers and help them complete their tax return. You can ring Fostering Network, of which you will be a member. They can help you over the phone with your tax return. I've also been told by lots of foster carers that if you ring HMRC direct, they are very helpful, will talk you through it over the phone and help you to complete your tax return online. So please don't worry about this, please don't struggle with it, but you do need to do it. If you don't, you will be fined, and I have known foster carers to be fined for not completing their tax return. I've already told you about the homework, so usually I say to people at this stage, go away, look at the part of the homework that relates to this session, have a go at completing it, or if you want to, complete all of the homework at the end of all the 4 sessions. But for now, that's the end of session 1. If you've got any questions, like I said, make a note of them, ask your assessing social worker or whoever your link is with fostering. You do have my email address, so you can email me. And I'll help where I can. Okay, but thank you for your contribution to session 1.